Here's my question, and before I get into it, I just want to clarify something with you.
Okay.
Numerous times on the show, I've heard you say things like, I'm more moral than the God of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Things like, I believe slavery is immoral.
Yeah.
I believe slavery is always immoral. Those people just didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct in my analysis so far?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the thing I'm trying to argue right now isn't that I think one commonality we have between us is I don't believe we get our morals from the Bible. Do you agree?
I definitely agree. I don't get my morals from the Bible.
Yes.
Okay. The point I'm trying to make is that we get our morals from a collection of our parents, our elders, our society. Now, when you say things like, I'm more moral than the morals of the Bible, essentially what you're saying is the morality that I've inherited from my parents, my culture, my area, this time period, is superior to that of the morality 2,000 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's the one thing I want to say. Morality isn't, morality of one society, in my opinion, I'll later defend this, is not better. One society's morality is not better than another society's morality. They're just different. The morals that people have between societies are based on the knowledge, culture, and environment, and the conclusions people make about these numerous senses are what derive people's morality. And I can, really quickly, if I may, read a quote from Abraham Lincoln.
Sure.
Abraham Lincoln was, at least the way we think of him, one of the greatest civil rights pushers and one of the greatest people for African Americans. Here's a quote about Abraham Lincoln. I will say then that I am not, nor have ever been in favor of bringing about in any way the social and political equality of the white and black races. That I am not, nor ever have been in favor of making voters or juniors of Negroes, nor the quality of them to hold office, nor to intermarry with white people. And I will say in addition to this, that there is a physical difference between the white and black races, which I believe will forbid the two races living together on terms of social and political equality. It goes on a little bit further.
Yeah, and I've heard the quote, and on that point, I'm better than Abraham Lincoln, too.
The point I'm trying to make isn't that we're better than Abraham Lincoln. The point I'm trying to make is that the society and the conclusion that Abraham Lincoln made at the time made sense.
No.
At that time, I did, and I'm not, this is on the fault of the African Americans. I'm saying that they were uneducated, they weren't given a lot of skills because law forbid them to learn. So the idea that these people could be on equal social and political terms didn't make sense at that time period.
Okay.
Now,
No. Stop for a second, Jack. It didn't make sense to the people who didn't bother to think that we could begin a process that would eventually result in equality. When I say that I'm more moral or better, I'm using my own criteria to judge, and somebody else is free to say that they are morally superior to me. However, when we actually get down to brass tacks and we talk about what our moral systems accomplish, what the goals are, what practical realities what things we value, and what the result of our beliefs are, I can demonstrate that based on whatever criteria I am using to define better, mine is better. Now, the fact that they didn't know any better, which goes back to what I said before about slavery in the Bible and stuff. I don't think that they were necessarily evil people. They were ignorant. They did not realize, and even Abraham Lincoln, they did not realize that equality was a realistic and worthwhile goal.
Yeah, but it sounds like the way you're saying it is that society, that as society progresses, morality improves.
And I think that's true.
I think that's true. I think we can...
I disagree with that because I believe that morality just evolves. It just changes.
And there's not. And you think there's nothing, no improvement, that people don't benefit, that there isn't with regard. Here's what I've used as an example in the past, and I have Dennis to thank for this, because people have asked if I believe in an absolute, moral absolutes, and the answer is both yes and no. and it depends on how you want to look at this. What Dennis raised that I've used before is this idea that for any given situation, there's a finite number of actions that one could take. And these actions have different consequences. Some consequences are going to be better for the individual. Some consequences are going to be better for the group than others. And while you can't say that this action is necessarily the best action, or we may not have enough information to determine that, you can determine that some actions are better than others. And it's not just a matter of anything goes. It's a matter of saying what are our goals? What is it that we value? And if you value the health of the individual, the health of the society, and freedom, if those are the things that you value, then my morals are better for reaching those goals than the morals of Abraham Lincoln or the authors of the Bible. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but I understand what you're saying, and I understand that you're saying, okay, well, can we say that, like, based on the criteria we have now, would equality have been a better thing? And by today's standards, I agree that we believe equality is better. But let's
do you believe today's standards are better?
Well, that's the thing. Okay, maybe today's standards are better, but, for example, like, do you believe that eating meat is immoral?
Sorry?
Do you believe eating meat is immoral?
No.
Like,
No.
There's other people who are raised in the same society as you that believe eating meat is immoral.
I know there are.
Now,
and they believe that they're morally superior on that issue.
Okay, but are they?
I don't think so. I remain unconvinced. And it's because when we get down to defining what we value and why, there's a difference there.
Okay, but the point is that to say that every single person believes they're morally superior.
I don't know that that's necessarily true, but in general, people probably think that their morals are correct or more correct than people who don't share them.
Okay, but do you believe that, that these other people's morals aren't as valid? Like, the point I'm trying to make is when people come up with their morals, even though to us it might seem barbaric and cruel, based on their society and their education and their knowledge, it makes sense.
They're still barbaric and cruel because I am the judge. I am the one who gets to decide how I assess theirs. And the way this works is, the road you're going down is the anything goes road. And I'm saying that the guy who rapes a 4-year-old is an immoral piece of crap. And it doesn't matter if he thinks that it's his immoral imperative or that it's his God-given right or duty. He's a piece of crap. And what happens is I get together all the people who agree with me, and we impose punishments against that based on that thing that we value. And we can demonstrate that it is better for the individuals in the society to outlaw this behavior.
But that's the thing. I just have to interject one thing because this is the point I'm trying to make. For our society, based on us, a 12-year-old girl marrying a 40-year-old man is wrong. It's detrimental to that of the individual. That's why it's immoral.
Yeah.
But if you look back 200 years ago,
it was still immoral. They just didn't realize it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me interject here because.
Oh, wait, let me just finish this point.
Okay.
200 years ago, based on society, like in England and Europe, young girls that were 18 very commonly married older men around the ages of 30 or whatever.
Yes.
The reason for this was because by that point, a man has made his way in the world and could provide for the daughter.
Yes.
Or for the girl. Now, at that society, it made sense.
I don't care if it made sense. That's what you're not getting. You're talking, Jack, stop. You're talking about a practical application. You're talking about a situation where there was something that was more valuable. And I would say, while there are people who would disagree, if I'm stuck on a desert island and I am the last known survivor of the human race, then I have some obligation in my mind to continue it. Would I go ahead and force myself upon a sexually viable but immature woman? Is that then moral? Just because it's a necessity? Just because it furthers a goal that even the girl would agree is a good thing?